notice, and it's very much appreciated that I'm not sure if you saw the groups I've occasionally for us on very limited notice, so I really appreciate that. I'll welcome you up straight away, Gibran.
Okay, thank you. Okay, right. Thank you, Toastmaster Isaiah, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So tonight, I have the role of the general evaluator, which is basically to evaluate things that are mostly not yet evaluated and do all the remains. But I would mostly try to focus more on the Toastmaster side of things and the evaluator, as they are the ones that are the key contents of the night. So starting on the beginning, starting with call to order, Molly introduced with a really great authority despite I think the meeting starts 9 minutes late, mentioned the team and followed the protocol and everything, which is commendable. And then following the president welcome by Stephen always have this strong, loud voice and really good presence, and always try to introduce humor, which all of us maybe can integrate into when we are doing the speech here. And then starting off, is it the Toastmasters role after this one? So Isaiah is pretty much one of the top best Toastmasters I've ever seen. I mean, the rookie ones. He started off pretty much well prepared with a strong speech and as well delivering a little bit of humor. And in regards to the introduction, he mentioned mostly about the passing of time. And along his speech, I noticed that he kind of makes the audience question, which makes them think. And I highly recommend everyone to follow that kind of method. And also mentioning great takeaways from the stories. A recommendation would be for the Toastmaster is that when he did mention the agenda change, I think along his role, but he didn't really mention it explicitly. So I highly recommend to just please take a look at the agenda and write the speech. Okay, and also passing through the points to Isaiah. Isaiah is really amazing in being able to connect in between. So mentioning on what the previous speaker does and how does it potentially relate to the other ones. And I'm not too sure on how to improve on that one. And also commendable for the ability to keep the meeting on time as well. So great work. And next is about the word of the day. Shania mentioned the word perspicacity. Yeah, I don't know how to mention it very well. But yeah, it's a really great word. And a recommendation would be to spell it out, because I couldn't it's kind of hard to see from the page on it's just it's kind of a bit difficult word, so highly recommend to spell it out on the next one. And then next is going on the timekeeper by Megan. Yeah, it's always fitting on. Megan was able to fit on the theme, and she as well explained pretty well. So congrats on that one. And now getting into this speech introduction of so from what I noticed on terms of everyone was able to have a good volume and try to effort on incorporating the word as well. And I think I noticed some of the speakers in here are kind of like try to memorize all in terms of like the speech, but no need to do that, because in terms of like the introduction, I think it's okay to use the lectern, and also everyone had to follow the protocol pretty well. And now going into the speech evaluation, math is starting off with math is the first evaluation is very clear as the speaker is experienced, so has good volume and enthusiastic and given examples and really good number of suggestions. And then the second evaluation by Warwick, always amazing good vocal variety and use of language, very encouraging and base up all points of the speech, which is pretty clever. And then next is evaluation by Lautaro for the third speech. I think he meant one thing that is interesting. He mentioned to refer as the speaker, to the speaker as the speaker, which is a very common tip, and I believe, and this is something that every evaluator actually do, and I recommend, and it's just the norm of the protocol. And then Lautaro, I noticed, also do really good hand gestures and provide really great suggestions and put a summary in the end as well. And next is this evaluation for the fourth speech by Elaine. Starting here, Elaine has great presence and great voice volume. She mentioned the goals of the and parts of the speech, and also really great suggestions. But the speaker really focused mostly to hook on more as the speaker rather than the whole room. So a suggestion would be to spread the eye contact to the whole room, and so that it can represent to, like look at more across the whole room rather than just the speaker themselves. And then by table topics evaluation by Max, I think he started pretty much on unsure if he can do the role pretty well, but I think he did the role very, very well. And Max has really good volume, and something I noticed is that when Max is here, he always have this funny presence going on, and yeah, I don't know if it's a talent or if it's just based on like the last speech, but yeah. And good thing is that he mentioned all of the questions and all of the speakers and how they progress, which is good. And then finally, on the A counter by Ryan, so it's really good delivery and good voice volume. And that wraps up my general evaluation. Thank you. Doing that. Thank you.